Namaste, and a warm good morning to all of you. We're absolutely delighted to extend our heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you on this remarkable day 5 of 1 week 1 lab celebration at CSIR-IMMT Bhubaneswar. Today's focus is on the fascinating world of chemistry, world of materials and CRTDH. रिटायर्ड साइंटिस्ट देना जरूरी है वही के बाजू में कौन है सेटल डाउन ठीक तुम लोग बुके वाले हाँ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन लोग सब बुके भी देंगे एक रहेगा बुके से लिए नहीं फ्लावर बुके में नाम नहीं बुलाऊंगा तुम लोग जस्ट दे दो मैं जस्ट किसी का नाम नहीं बोलूँगा जस्ट बोलूँगा कि अभी हम लोग वेलकम करेंगे फ्लावर बुके का यू जस्ट गिव फ्लावर हाँ पहले वो जो मेन सोफा है उधर दोगे फिर साइड वाला सोफा दोगे ठीक ठीक साइड फोटो राइट 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 गुड आइडिया साइड होके सो दैट नाइस पिक्चर हेलो 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 बीच में दो दोगे फिर दो साइड में दोगे उसके बाद वो ये लास्ट फर्स्ट मेन ये ओनली सोफा उसके बाद उसके बाद वो वाले फिर डायरेक्टर वाइस चौधरी चौधरी जी को बोलिए। Namaste and a warm good morning to all of you. We are absolutely delighted to extend our heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you on this remarkable day 5 of the 1 week 1 lab celebration at CSIR-IMMT Bhubaneswar. Today's focus is on the fascinating world of materials and CRTDH. I am Dr. Sumit Saha, your host for today's program. To commence our proceedings formally, may I have the honor of inviting our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Sujata Chaklanovis, Scientist G and Head CRTDH DSIR, on the dais. Madam, please. It is also my pleasure to invite on stage our guests of honor, Professor Chintan Shivir, Director ACSIR, Dr. Bipin Shukla, Scientist F and Member Secretary CRTDH, Dr. P.K. Sahu, Principal Director and Head, CPET Institute of Petrochemical Technology, Bhubaneswar, Mr. Daitari Kamila, General Manager R&D, Jindal Stainless Limited, Kalinganagar, Mr. Swatik Swain, Secretary General, Orissa Assembly of Small and Medium Enterprises, our respected Director, Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, Dr. L.D. Besra, Chairman, Materials and CRTDH Theme, OWL Program, and finally Dr. Wais Chaudhary, Coordinator, IMMT DSIR, CRTDH. I would like to take a moment to extend our warmest welcome to our distinguished guests who have graced us with their presence today. Your presence here is truly an honor, and we are deeply appreciative of your support and participation in our event. As a small but heartfelt gesture of our appreciation, we would like to present each of our esteemed guests with a beautiful flower bouquet. As we convene in the enchanting state of Orissa, let us take a moment to honor the profound cultural heritage that graces this land. I kindly invite you all to stand as we pay homage to Orissa through its state anthem.
Bande utkala janani, bande utkala janani. Bande utkala janani, bande utkala janani, bande utkala janani, bande utkala janani. चारु भासमयी जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल विधौत शरीरा तालतमाल सुशोभित तीरा सुप्रतटिनि कुलशिखर समीरा जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी घन घन वन भूमि राजित अङ्गे नीलभूधर माला साजित रङ्गे कळ कळ मुखरित चारु विहङ्गे जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी जननी।
Thank you, everyone. The act of lighting diyas symbolizes the enlightenment of knowledge and the spirit of togetherness. At this moment, we'd like to commence our program by igniting the diyas. Now I would like to invite Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, the Director of CSIR-IMMT, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
आप सभी का हार्दिक वंदन Today we are on the 5th day of our yesterday we have celebrated Hindi, and today we are paying tribute and we are remembering the great contribution of the engineers who has served our country in each and every sphere of life. So whoever are engineers here, my salute, my salutation, and all the good wishes to all of you. Honorable Chief Guest of today, Dr. Sujata Madam, Professor Manoj Kumar Dhar, Dr. Bipin Shukla, Dr. P.K. Sahu, Dsir Crtdh, Satvik Swain, Dr. Besra, Dr. Chaudhary, Dr. Shaktivel, and to bless us, we have three stalwarts that who have made this institute, that this is our Diamond Jubilee year also. Engineer Misra ji, Dr. Bhoi Saab, Dr. Nayak Saab, our industry partner Dr. Tapan Kumar Raut, CSIR representative who is also the RC member of this institute, Dr. R.M. Mohanty, my senior colleagues, all the organizing committee members, dear students, entrepreneurs, and all the staffs that whoever are present and who is watching live through electronic media, and all the press and media. A hearty and warm welcome to you. Today, before coming here, we have inaugurated by Dr. Professor Manoj Dhar has inaugurated our ACSIR center, because we have taken a strive that there should be a separate center where it will be bubbling with the energy of the students. So besides CRDTS building, we have created Department of Academic Affairs and ACSIR Center. Thank you for inaugurating and thank you for coming here. 2 days is very, very power pack. If institute has been built by the scientists, then equal contribution is of our administration, our technical staff, and our students as well. Whether a student is from projects or for PhD or for training program, all are equal to us. That's why we have researcher conclave divided into 2 parts. Today afternoon, researcher conclave 1, and tomorrow morning, researcher conclave 2 will be done. In our 1 week, 1 lab program, in first day, we started with a startup enclave, IP, and all the entrepreneur besides our inaugural program, where chief guest has been our new RC chairman. Second day was the first name of our institute, Institute of Minerals, means Minerals Day that we have done. Then mineral, in between it will create lot of resource, because we have taken a resolution that we will never call waste. Waste is a resource. And third day was dedicated to the waste to the wealth, waste to wealth. Fourth day, since inception of our institute, almost around last 30 to 35 years, we have put dedicated efforts on the bringing minerals from the sea. So yesterday it was dedicated to blue economy. Now, today is the turn of materials, the second name of our institute. Material is going to rule the world, have been ruling the world. I have lot of opportunity to create wealth, to create entrepreneur, to create a startup, and what a correlation that we are in the state of Odisha, city of Bhubaneswar, and lot of natural resources, big coastal line, big forest resources. So wherever you go, you will get a resources, and with young engineers, all our scientists, all younger generation, we have lot of opportunities to create everything as a resource, and our state of Odisha is one of the maximum contributor to GDP. And if our Honorable Prime Minister dream of becoming Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, a Startup India, this will come from here. This 1 week, 1 lab program has been started in this year January, conceptualized in last year September, under the leadership of our Vice President, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, and almost all the lab, 35 lab has celebrated already. On next week, 2 labs will be celebrating. We have a strong leader to lead us, the first ever woman Director General of CSIR, Dr. N. Kalai Selvi ji, and I have personally seen at least 5 1 week 1 lab program, and I have participated, and I was also in that part. So today is a combination. If materials has to see the day, it has to combine with engineering. Chemists create molecules. Physicists study molecule. Biologists evaluate molecule. But engineers fabricate molecule. If it has to come for public, then engineering without engineering. So that's why today we are in the era of interdisciplinary science, where chemistry, physics, biology, and engineering has to combine and give the fruits to the people, to the sustainable world, and with a net zero concept, and public will enjoy. Public will be happy. We have to use our resources wisely. In the guest, if you'll see our chief guest of today, she has been kind enough to visit us in this year beginning also, and with madam and her team effort, we have been able to, as per my thinking, one of the best CRTDs in the country. Thank you, madam, and thank you, DSIR, for supporting our initiative. If you want to go forward, without academics will not be science. So that's why today a guest of honor, Professor Manoj Kumar Dhar sir, that he is the director of ACSIR, and if any entrepreneurship, any startup has to go forward, a good education system, a practical education system has to be there. Thank you for coming here, sir. Now if you want to run CRTDs, you require people from different spheres, and today we have from industry, we have from CPET, Central Institute of Plastic and Engineering Technology, and we have visited CPET also in earlier, and IMMT is going to have a very, very strong, already we have, but it will be further strengthened to streamline and to furthering the activity of CRTDs. So thanks to all our guests, all guests of honor, and you will see the dedicated effort of our team. CRTDs will not come with a single hand. You need a team, and in that enterprising role played by Dr. Chaudhary, he owns, and unless you will own anything, you will not able to make it to the very high success. So we have a strong team led by Dr. Chaudhary, Dr. Besra, that we have given in a strong, he has a very, very strong group, and equally supported by Shaktivel group, that we have materials technology, plus materials chemistry department, and all the scientists, all the engineers, all the students has together made this CRTDS. We have shown the glimpses just before coming here. The exhibits was inaugurated. All demonstrations are there. So I request all of you, please take some time out and visit the effort of all our organizing committee, all our scientists, all technical, all administration, one family, that whatever concept has come, one CSIR, one IMMT, and IMMT has taken a vow that we will keep smiling always, keep doing good work, and whatever is required, we will contribute for the growth of the nation, for the growth of CSIR, and overall for the benefit of the humankind, for the world. Thank you all once again. Hearty welcome. I might have missed some the name, but I honor all of you, whoever has come and who are supposed to come on the day. I welcome all of you to our institute or our own behalf. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusandhan. Thank you. Jai Engineers Day.
Thank you, Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, for a warm welcome. Following this, I would like to invite Dr. L.D. Besra, Chairman of the Materials and CRTD's team for the OWL program, to share his insights on the overview of materials research at CSIR-IMMT.
Good morning, everyone. Today's chief guest, Madam Sujata, guests of honor, Professor Dhar, Dr. Bipin Shukla ji, Dr. P.K. Sahu ji, Mr. Daitari Kamila ji, and our beloved director, Dr. Ramanuj Narayan ji, my friends, Dr. R. Shaktivel, Dr. Y.S. Chaudhary, invitees of the dais, retired colleagues of this institute, students from different colleges and universities, research scholars, project assistants of CSIR-IMMT, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to all of you. So I have the honor to present before you a brief account of the materials research that is being pursued at CSIR-IMMT. Actually, the materials research, as Director said, is pursued in two main departments, Advanced Materials Technology Department and Materials Chemistry Department. And in addition to that, there are also materials research activities in hydrometallurgy and central characterization departments. And the activity covers a broad spectrum of areas, from traditional materials to advanced functional and futuristic materials. And the Advanced Materials Technology Department, they are involved in 7 main areas. The advanced coatings, primarily using plasma spray coatings for thermal barrier applications, and for surface coating for prevention of corrosion, and thin film coatings by glow discharge plasma for industrial applications, and hard coatings and nanocomposites coatings for cutting tool applications. And in the ferrous metallurgy sector, the department is involved in green steel technology, where the hydrogen plasma smelting reduction of iron ore they are doing, and then oxides and borides dispersed steel for nuclear applications. And in the materials property and analysis and evaluation field, they are studying the corrosion of alloys and composites, and then mechanical characterization of alloys and composites for industrial components, non-destructive testing, and failure analysis, which is very important to the industry, and then advanced materials composition and elemental analysis. And in the new materials development front, the AMT department is involved in production of lab-grown diamond, laser-induced graphene for wearable and flexible electronics, thermoelectric materials for energy harvesting, then lightweight alloys and composites for automobile applications, and also high entropy alloys for high temperature applications. And they are also doing a lot of S&T intervention for reviving the traditional metal craft sector. And they do a lot of plasma processing of materials for recovery of metal values from industrial waste. Particularly, one example is the production of silicon carbide from agriculture waste, and then cold plasma surface cleaning and restoration of archaeological artifacts, and then plasma disinfection of seeds for improved shelf life and germination. And they also have a very strong group in the powder metallurgy and additive manufacturing field, where development of tungsten-based alloys for defense application, which you saw in the CSIR-IMMT building, the products were displayed. And then laser material processing, additive manufacturing, and powder metallurgy for development of new alloys for high temperature applications. And then lot of waste to wealth conversion activities also there. Particularly, few examples are strategic stabilization of this hexavalent chromium in industrial solid waste, then magnetic nanoparticle from industrial waste for printing applications. This is one of the technology which is going to go further. It is probably it's going to the patent is pending. Then recovery of graphite and other valuables from the spent electrodes, recovery of metal values from secondary resources, and coming to the material chemistry department, here mainly the activities are under optoelectronics, sensors, energy conversion and storage, and coatings. And in the optoelectronic field, the activity include development of intrinsic single component material for white LED. You have seen this in the exhibition also in the CSIR-IMMT building today. And halide perovskite for solar cell applications, and indium-free materials for transparent conducting layers. Then we have a very strong group in sensors, where we are developing flexible piezoelectric based sensors using lead-free materials that finds lots of applications ranging from medical fields to those in extreme environment conditions. And also the sensors, chemobiosensors for detection of heavy metal contaminants in wastewater and drinking water, and also development of luminescent metal nanoclusters and functional nanomaterials based on novel metals, metal oxides, sulfides, and phosphides. In the energy conversion storage, this activity is one of the main activity of this department. So where we are designing and developing safe and sustainable energy storage devices like supercapacitor, battery, and materials like metal organic framework and porous organic polymers. Then we have also activities on electrochemical conversion of carbon dioxide into value-added products, ammonia production, and solar fuel generation. And we have a group which is working on the piezoelectric nano generator for energy harvesting. And then now the hydrogen is the buzzword, so we also have a group working on solid oxide electrolyzer and photoelectrochemical water splitting for hydrogen generation. And also coating of metal, ceramic, polymer, and also 2D material machine, which you saw during the inauguration of the exhibits there, is there, using several techniques, using electrophoretic deposition, thermal spray, high velocity oxyfuel or cold spray. These are some of the techniques which are used there, mainly for corrosion resistance, tribological applications, antibacterial coatings, and other functional applications. And the expertise and knowledge from all these materials activities some of which have advanced stage, that has culminated in projects which come under the IMMT DSIR-CRTDH project, which Dr. Y.S. Chaudhary will talk in details about that afterwards. So I am happy to share that one of the patented technology on 2D machine is taken up by one of the student, Mr. N. Usakiran, to make a startup. Similarly, I am told that the work on the magnetic nanoparticles from industrial waste is in the advanced stage, and another startup is going to come in that field also. And the white LED work is also going in a very advanced stage. Okay. So that is all about the materials research activity at IMMT. Again, on behalf of the organizing committee, I thank you once again and extend you a very warm welcome to this function. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Vigyan, and Jai Anusandhan.
Thank you, Dr. Besra. Today we are honored to have Dr. Sujata Chaklanovis, Scientist G and Head CRTDH DSIR, as our chief guest, who will now release the DSIR CRTDH video.
Welcome to CRTDH at CSIR-IMMT Bhubaneswar.
CSIR-IMMT has been catering R&D intervention to MSMEs and big industrial houses in the area of minerals, metallurgical processes and advanced material over the last 6 decades. There are a large number of MSMEs working on metal and materials processing and chemical processes that require R&D inputs and intervention time and again to meet the emerging market needs and their sustenance. Common research and technology
Give a brief overview of Chintan Shivir.
Yeah, I'm sorry we had to pause it because I have to simultaneously attend an international conference. Just after my talk, I would like to join there. I'm really sorry. We can continue with the video after my talk. So good morning and welcome to all. Respected Dr. Manoj Kumar Dhar, Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, Director, IMMT Bhubaneswar, Dr. Y.S. Chaudhary, IMMT, all the dignitaries on the stage and off the stage, my colleagues Dr. Vipin Shukla, Dr. Ranjit Bairwa, Dr. Suman Majumdar, all the scientists, technical staff, students, all the members from IMMT Bhubaneswar, the delegates from MSMEs, from media, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you. It's really a matter of great pride and honor to be present here today on such an important occasion, 1 week, 1 lab, which is a wonderful concept which was introduced by our Honorable Minister and which is being continued by all the CSIR labs. And we are having a Chintan Shivir on CRTDH along with this 1 week, 1 lab program. I'm really happy and honored to be present here. We all know that India is on the path of growth trajectory and is doing really well. The main input which is given for this growth is through science and technology. If we look 10 years back, the year 12-13, the GDP of our country was about $2 trillion US, and we were standing as the 10th largest economy of the world. Just fast forward 10 years, 2023. The economy is worth $3.5 trillion US, and we are the 5th largest economy. We, all the Indians, are aspiring and have a dream of having a big $5 trillion US very shortly. And I'm sure that this can be achieved. But there are certain things, certain indicators have to be strengthened, one of them being the competitiveness of the MSMEs. MSMEs are in fact a very important sector of our society. In fact, they are often referred to as the growth engine of our economy, and they are a very dynamic and vibrant sector. If we look into the statistics, if we look at the 73rd census which was done for these MSMEs, it has been recorded that there are almost 63 million MSMEs functioning, which are in the organized sector. I'm not talking about the unorganized sector, only the organized sector. There are several million more in the unorganized sector. And they are employing about 111 million people. The MSME sector contributes about 30% to our GDP, and they contribute about 45% of the export of the country. So you can imagine the kind of strength and the capacity this MSME has. However, we often find that these MSMEs have a lot of wish and will to do a lot of good work and bring about new products and processes in the market, but often are unable to do so because of paucity of funds and paucity of state-of-the-art R&D infrastructure. So the main aim of the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research is to promote industrial R&D in our country, and we are very closely associated with industries of our nation. So we came to know about all these things, and then we thought that it would be prudent and it is really very important that we set up some sort of a mechanism where we can have the state-of-art research facilities, state-of-art infrastructure, which can be offered to the MSMEs in a shared manner. With this vision in mind, the Common Research and Technology Development Hub program came into existence in the year 2014-15. Since then, we have been supporting several CRTDHs, and these are basically in 5 sectors: affordable health, environmental intervention, electronics and renewable energy, low-cost machining, and new materials and chemical processes. These are the 5 sectors in which we are at the moment supporting our CRTDHs. And I'm very happy to say that the family of CRTDH consists of 18 strong CRTDHs, which are housed in very reputed institutes, one of them being IMMT Bhubaneswar. All these CRTDHs are contributing immensely to bring out new products, new processes into the market. They are helping the MSMEs to bring out their products and processes into the market. And also, they are helping the society in a big way. The exhibition, what we saw today in the hall, and I would request you all to go and visit that exhibition, gives just a small glimpse of what the CRTDH and IMMT Bhubaneswar is doing. That's just the tip of the iceberg. A lot remains to be told about the achievements of these CRTDHs and IMMT Bhubaneswar. So just to tell you that all these CRTDHs are poised to contribute to the economy of the nation, to contribute in strengthening the prowess, the R&D prowess of the MSMEs, which are our main stakeholders. In fact, we at DSIR believe that it is very important to bring all the stakeholders of CRTDH together to have a synergetic effect of what we are all having. The three vertices of this golden triangle are government, academia, and industry. In the case of CRTDH, government is DSIR, academia is a CRTDH like IMMT Bhubaneswar, and of course industry, MSME. Unless and until the strength of all the three vertices of the triangle are brought together, I do not think that it is possible to have a great, to bring out good products, processes into the market very effectively. That is what we think at DSIR, and we have been trying to support the MSMEs in whatever way we have been doing. In fact, we also feel that it's very important to enhance the innovative power of these MSMEs. So if you see the Global Innovation Index, we were somewhere in 2016, we were somewhere in the 81st position, and the 2022 report says we are at 40th rank, which is extremely good. And I have a firm belief that to take the dream of all the three vertices of Golden Triangle forward, it's very important to follow CID. I'm not talking about the Central Bureau of Investigation. This has a different, this is a different acronym what I have phrased. It's like collaborate, innovate, and disseminate. Collaborate, all the three vertices needs to collaborate. We need to innovate together, and we need to disseminate this amongst our entire society. So I would like to say why we are having this Chintan Shivir. In fact, last year we had a conclave which was focused on the activities and achievements of all the CRTDHs. We had this conclave in November 2022, and there our secretary, Madam Dr. N. Kalai Selvi, she was the chief guest. She's very kind enough to accept whatever proposal we take forward to her for approval regarding any activity of DSIR, and she very kindly accepted to be the chief guest of this conclave, where she put forward a very important thing. She said that it's very important that all the three vertices of this Golden Triangle sit together and do a sort of chintan or manthan. What exactly are the requirements of MSMEs, what the CRTDHs can offer, and what DSIR can do to improvise its scheme. So today's event, the Chintan Shivir, is basically focused on this concept, what has been proposed by our Secretary Madam. So I would request all of you who are here, I believe you belong to one of these three vertices, whatever vertice you belong to, I would request you to actively participate and tell us what are your aspirations and expectations from these CRTDHs, and what exactly are the expectations from this scheme. In fact, I would like to tell one more thing. We published a compendium during the last conclave, and I believe So I'm very happy to know that this compendium has been uploaded on the website of IMMT Bhubaneswar. So please go through that compendium and see what exactly are these CRTDHs doing. And if you have any doubt about what exactly can be offered by these CRTDs, you can contact the respective CRTDs. See, IMMT Bhubaneswar is there and catering to a particular sector. They cannot cater to all the sectors. We have different CRTDs for different sectors. So those who are in various other sectors in which IMMT Bhubaneswar may not be able to contribute because they have their niche, their expertise in a very different field, you just go through it and see which are the CRTDs who are working in that area, get in touch with them and try to take as much benefit as you can from these CRTDs. So I will not take much time of yours. We have a lot to discuss during today's entire event. I look forward to it, and I also look forward to the video what was being played. I'm really very sorry just because I have to attend another international conference in between, and again I'll come back because that's being done virtually. It's in China, so I'll just go and come back. I'm really very sorry for stopping that there. We'll enjoy the video just after this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for providing us a brief overview of Chintan Shivir. We'll now play the DSIR CRTDH video.
Welcome to CRTDH at CSIR-IMMT Bhubaneswar.
CSIR-IMMT has been catering R&D intervention to MSMEs and big industrial houses in the area of minerals, metallurgical processes and advanced material over the last 6 decades. There are a large number of MSMEs working on metal and materials processing and chemical processes that require R&D inputs and intervention time and again to meet the emerging market needs and their sustenance. Common Research and Technology Development Hub, IMMT DSIR CRTDH, has been established by the joint efforts of CSIR-IMMT and the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research DSIR at CSIR-IMMT Bhubaneswar. This is an apt opportunity where the hub will help in the generation of employment, skill development and sustainable growth of MSMEs and startups through entrepreneurship development.
Its foundation stone was laid by Secretary, DSIR Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, on 1st February 2019. It was inaugurated by Honorable Union Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh, on 4th December 2021. The primary objective is to nurture and promote innovations in MSMEs through R&D or knowledge-based support in the focus area of new materials and chemical process. The aim is threefold. 1. To mentor, nurture, collaborate or handhold MSMEs and startups to develop innovations. 2. To provide enabling services such as IPR support, laboratory facilities, testing and analysis support for quality assurance, auditing of production processes, etc. And 3. To provide access to developed technologies available at CSIR-IMMT and sister labs of CSIR for taking ideas to market. The scientific and technological intervention at IMMT DSIR CRTDH, spreading over various facets of materials, chemical, and metallurgical processes. There are state-of-the-art facilities to serve the MSMEs startups. Industrial coatings facilities for corrosion resistance, abrasion resistance, and tribological erosion wear tests under elevated temperature. Facilities for metal crafts. Mechanical testing facility in Strawn. Thermogravimetric DTA analyzer. Spray dryer. Controlled atmospheric furnaces, magnetic heating furnace with variable magnetic field up to 1.5 Tesla. Other characterization techniques include XRD, SEM, EPMA, XPS, FTIR, photoluminescence spectrophotometer, etc. Other major facilities include Innovation Center for Plasma Processing, Large-Scale Iron Ore Processing Facility, Pilot Plant for Seabed Minerals Extraction, Low-Concentration Slurry Transportation, Setup for Vertical Hydraulic Transport of Seabed Minerals Slurry. Some of the major technologies that have been transferred to the MSME's partners are potassium-enriched biochar production from banana waste, which has been commercialized and is available in the market. Humidocool technology to improve shelf life of vegetables and fruits. Silicon carbide powder from rice husk and rice husk ash. Smokeless brass melting furnace. And also several know-hows during COVID pandemic. CRTDH organizes various workshops, seminars, skill development training programs to foster the collaboration, to identify MSME needs and to upgrade skills of self-help group leaders, artisans and entrepreneurs.
Since its establishment in 2019, it has sensitized more than 87 MSMEs and it has transferred 12 technologies, know-hows to 20 number of MSMEs. It has trained more than 200 manpower, including the self-help group leaders, entrepreneurs, artisans, agro-entrepreneurs, etc. And it has extended the analysis and testing facilities for more than 650 samples. The IMMT DSIR CRTDH is a dynamic and inclusive platform which nurtures and provides hand-holding to MSMEs, startups, entrepreneurs to make them realize their business growth and toward their sustenance in the competitive market. We at IMMT DSIR CRTDH strive to bring more MSMEs, startup entrepreneurs on board and contribute in their growth and eventually to the prosperity of the nation. More details about these programs are available at its website.
Privileged to have video address by our own Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, Secretary DSIR and DG CSIR.
Namaskar, Vanakkam, and pleasant morning to every one of you. I'm very glad that DSIR, the Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, is organizing the first of its kind event called Chintan Shivir. First of all, I myself came up with this kind of an idea that considering the success stories or the kind of involvement that MSMEs are showing and said to be benefited out of this CRTDH, I myself came up with a kind of an idea that why don't we just come up with a kind of an conclave wherein we can just make it as a common interactive meet so that these MSMEs and the active components of CRTDH along with the knowledge-based partners can really meet with, brainstorm, interact, handshake and further handhold in the respective areas. So in this respect, Dr. Sujatha and her team, they have taken it up very seriously. I wish to place on record my appreciations, my thanks, and I would say a lot of congratulations also to the team because it is not only to rejuvenate DSIR enhance their activities, but mainly to support and to ensure and to give a kind of a new hope to the MSMEs that DSIR and CRTDH, we are there with you and we will always travel with you and we will try to fulfill all your requirements in the way you want it. So without disappointing DSIR and CRTDH, I'm glad, I'm said that MSME's participation is overwhelming, and I'm really happy that MSMEs of the country, because you are becoming the backbones of the country, becoming the backbones of the country, becoming the backbones of the country, becoming the backbones of the country.
Okay, we are honored to have Professor Manoj Kedhar, Director ACSIR, as our guest of honor today. We eagerly await his words of wisdom. Sir, please.
Chief guest of today's function, Dr. Sujata from DSIR, our dynamic and respected director of IMMT, Professor Ramanuj Narayan, and the coordinator of this IMMT, DSIR and CRTDH, Dr. Y.S. Chaudhary, Dr. Mohanty, and other distinguished guests on the dais and off the dais, distinguished scientists of CSIR-IMMT, and the students and scholars of this prestigious institute, and who are also part of ACSIR. So, good morning to all of you, and it is indeed a matter of great honor and privilege for me to be here. First of all, let me thank the director of this institute, Professor Ramanuj Narayan, for extending this invitation to me and for wanting me to be here and making me a part of this 1 week, 1 lab celebration of CSIR-IMMT. Although I am here in the capacity of director of ACSIR, yet in this Chintan Shivir, which has been organized mainly to brainstorm about the future of our nation in terms of how MSMEs can contribute, are contributing, and how they can further contribute towards the growth and development of the nation, especially in terms of their collaborative efforts with DSIR. Here I would like to mention that we at ACSIR, I hope that all of you are aware of the full form of ACSIR, because when I come across many people, they actually ask me, when I tell them that I come from ACSIR, they ask me another question, that what is ACSIR? So I think many of you are already aware, but yet those who are not aware, let me mention that ACSIR is Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research. It's an institution of national importance established by an Act of Parliament. We have our headquarters at Ghaziabad, UP. And we have our presence in all the CSIR labs. All the 37 CSIR labs are affiliated with ACSIR because we are the main degree granting institution. And besides CSIR labs, we have 18 other labs, some from ICMR, some DST, and other laboratories, prestigious labs in this country, which are affiliated to ACSIR. And you will perhaps be surprised to know that at the moment, ACSIR is the largest institution in terms of the PhD students enrolled with ACSIR. It's around 7,000 students, and every year we are adding almost about 1,000 students, a little more than 1,000. This year we had 1,100 students who have been registered with ACSIR. So it's a very big family of 7,000 students and about 3,000 faculty members who are the scientists working in CSIR laboratories and other labs, of course, but major share is of the CSIR labs. And we grant degrees in 5 faculties: Faculty of Physical Sciences, Faculty of Chemical Sciences, Faculty of Engineering, then Faculty of Mathematics and Information Technology, and Faculty of Biological Sciences. The maximum number of students who are registered with us belong to Faculty of Chemical Sciences, followed very closely by the Faculty of Biological Sciences. And we are striving very hard to see that we have more enrollment so far as physical sciences or engineering sciences and the information technology or mathematical sciences and information technology is concerned. Now that much in terms of ranking, you will be all pleased to know that as per NIRF, ACSIR ranks 12th, which is not a mean achievement, because if you see the year 2021, our rank was, for the first time when the ranking was done under research institution category by NIRF, it was 22nd. And in the year 21-22, it rose up to 18. And this year, our ranking is 12, NIRF, which is not a mean achievement, I will say, by all standards, because if you see the institutions which are above us, they are either Indian Institute of Science, AIIMS, and IITs. So we again at ACSIR are striving hard to be in the first 5, and maybe ultimately that is what is our aim, to be in the first few so far as the NIRF ranking is concerned. And do you know that why and how this ranking is actually done? What are the parameters? I don't want to focus on all the parameters, but one of the very important parameters on which NIRF ranking is done is the research output. And who makes that research output? This research output is done by the students, the PhD students who are registered with ACSIR, and the faculty members, the scientists of CSIR, who are guiding them, who are mentoring them. So I wish to congratulate the entire scientific fraternity of CSIR, and also a great many congratulations to all the students who are working day and night, who are doing their research, publishing papers in frontline journals, and making ACSIR to grow by leaps and bounds. So please continue to do good work, and please continue to publish, get your IPRs protected through patents and other instruments, so that we at ACSIR feel proud of you, and we feel that we are progressing. we are marching ahead towards excellence. Now today, as the topic is there, I just take few minutes more to tell you that how I see this MSME participation and the role of DSIR and maybe CSIR, of course, our scientists, our students, from a CSIR point of view. See, future, even today, but in future as well, what will be the key points for success? What will make you a major superpower? How will our country become the third, I would say, economic power? I think one of the key things is technology, but technology with innovation. Because unless and until we bring this innovation in our technology development, I don't think we can move forward with that pace as we would require to be moving ahead. Therefore, when we see innovation, participation of industry is also very important, because our scientists may be innovating, our students may be innovating, but then ultimately whether it reaches to that level where it can become a technology, and then that technology can be will reach to the masses, will help the society. Ultimately, that is what is the aim of science and technology. So if that has to happen, there has to be an increased participation of industry. And we at ACSIR are taking many efforts to see that we bring in the industries actually in the role of shaping a PhD student. Now you'll be happy to know that shortly, in another 1 month or so, we are launching a very unique PhD program which we have named as iPhD. Why iPhD? Because we feel that I will represent innovation, it will represent imagination, and it will represent industry linkage. So this iPhD program will be a unique PhD program wherein right from the day of enrollment till the award of degree, and I would say even further in the career, because that is what is inbuilt in this program, industry support will be there right from the beginning. So therefore, a student who completes a degree, and there will be very less focus on publication, but more focus on technology development. So even if somebody doesn't have a doesn't have a research publication, as is true of today, you need to have at least one research publication to get a PhD degree. But even if you don't have that, but you have a technology in your hand, ACSIR will award a PhD degree to that PhD student. So this is a very unique kind of concept which in the last 4 or 5 months we have tried to develop. It has already passed through several of our bodies, approvals have been granted, and shortly in another 1 month or so we'll be launching this PhD program, which will be first of its kind in our country, wherein we are trying to make not just PhD degree holders who are then asked to look around and find jobs for themselves. No, we are producing what we have called as sciencepreneurs. PhDs having not only done PhD, having a thesis in their hand, but having a technology with them which they can further take to different levels. You know, there are several TRL levels and so on. So take further levels, cross further levels with active support of industry. At no point of time they will be left hayway. They will not be feeling that I am not being supported, I am not being funded. And ultimately that PhD student who has been awarded a PhD from ACSIR will either have his own or her own startup, or will go to an industry, because right from the beginning he or she will be handheld by the industry, so that industry may absorb him, or start an entrepreneurship program, give jobs to many others like him or her. So the point is that at no point of time the person will be left alone. till this person, this student finds something for himself or herself in life. Now that is what is our aim, and I am sure that with all your blessings, with all your support, because we need active support of researchers, active support of scientists, our faculty members, to actually make this program a successful program. And I am sure that in the times to come, we are starting with a very small number of 10 students, and we are hopeful that this number will swell over the period of time, and we'll be having more and more industrial participation, because that's very important. That's where I am saying that this Chintan Shivir, I was actually initially thinking that why Professor Ramanuj has invited me for this Chintan Shivir, but then I realized that this is one way to invite the industry, to invite all of you to see that how we can bring in more and more industrial participation for generating sciencepreneurs, not just PhD degree holders. So with that, I think I have taken a lot of time just to say that it is really wonderful to be here to participate in this 1 week, 1 lab program, which has, as you already know, that it is the idea of the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, that is coming into shape, and almost all the labs have celebrated. I have myself participated in 6 or 7 programs, and luckily, fortunately, they organized a young researchers conclave, as is being held here as well. So I had an opportunity of interacting with the ACSIR students, and earlier also when I was here, I think that day also I said that I wanted to tell the ACSIR students that ACSIR director is not a robot. He is a real human being, and that is what I am. I am a human being because we are placed remotely, and our students are also connected very remotely with us. So many a times there is a feeling that perhaps there is some machine which is issuing our degrees and doing other things. But that is not true. We are human beings. We are also very well concerned with your future, with your welfare. So we have the coordinator of ACSIR here, and again, I think it's really heartening. For the first time so far, I have joined ACSIR. This is for the first time it is happening that a dedicated center of ACSIR has been made here. Many congratulations to our Director Saab for this novel idea of earmarking a building for ACSIR activities. This is really wonderful. I visited that building, and I can see that he has excellent ideas about transforming that into an academic, I would say, hub, wherein not only the students will have their issues resolved so far as ACSIR is concerned, but classwork is going to be there. There have places are being set up where you can have discussion, where you can talk. Incidentally, just for your information, I think you must be aware that ACSIR has proposed and requested all the labs to establish a science club. And I would say that, Ramanuj sir, that would be an excellent place where you can have this science club and the activities of science club, which will be conducted purely by the students. So that would be an excellent place. Another thing which I wanted to tell you is that, I will find out the name, but ACSIR decided recently to issue a journal. So we are coming up with a magazine, and it gives me real happiness to say that the name of the magazine, we had had a contest. We had issued a open kind of advertisement wherein we invited students to suggest the name, and the name of that journal, name of the magazine, has been now selected. It is being printed. It will be out in few days. The person, the name has been proposed by a research scholar of IMMT. So we'll have a special mention of that student, and maybe we are also planning to kind of felicitate him. So I don't want to make an announcement right here, but just to tell you that again you should be really proud that one of our brilliant research scholars from IMMT suggested the name, and that will continue forever with ACSIR. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity. Yeah, another unique thing which he is mentioning is that 2 deans, we have 5 deans. Out of 5 deans, Dean Physical Sciences and Dean Chemical Sciences, both are here in IMMT.
Thank you, Professor Dhar. Our next guest of honor is Dr. Bipin Shukla, Scientist F and Member Secretary CSIR-IMMT. Okay. We are now pleased to welcome Dr. P.K. Sahu, Principal Director and Head, CPET, Institute of Petrochemicals Technology, Bhubaneswar, as our guest of honor, who will now address us. Please, sir.
Good morning, respected distinguished guest on the dais, and scientists, students, research scholars. I am from CPET, Bhubaneswar. Actually, this is a central government organization. That's why I worked in several places, several states. And recently I am repeating CPET Bhubaneswar. So what exactly CPET is? CPET established in 1968 at Chennai and particularly in Bhubaneswar in 1986. CPET is closely associated with plastic industries. Definitely yes, we are providing technical services and we are linked with industry from the day one. This is one unique institute which is having very close interaction industry and academic relations from the day one. And out of 45 locations across the country, Odisha is very fortunate to have 5 locations of CPET. One is in Paradip, another is in Baleshwar, another is in Raulkela, and in Mancheshwar one CPET unit is there, and in Patia campus there are 2, one is Research Institute, another is IPT. Here we are providing this BTech programs, MTech programs up to PhD levels, and some other locations we are providing this ITI programs and the diploma programs. But all the technical services, what exactly we are organizing, that is closely linked with industries. Actually, what is the need of our, whatever research we are doing, simple, we are doing research and we are keeping our research paper in the library for the further follow-up by the students. But the thing is that when we are talking about the economic growth of these countries, definitely we have to link with our research with industries and with manufacturing. As you know that we are moving, exactly we are not moving, we are running. Actually last 10 years we are running, that's why we could achieve the position of 5th economic in the world. So our target within next few years, we have to achieve the 3rd economic country of the world. For doing that, we have to link our research innovations with the industry, with the manufacturing. So in this Chintan Shivir, that means actually we have to think and we will bring some outcomes which will help the mankind and which will help the industries, and we can grow, this country can grow up. How? Actually this is small idea just I am expressing here. If we link this research with startups, for example, as we know that a startup is some new idea we have to bring into reality and we have to earn some things. That means one startup, small startup within few years, that will be unicorn. How? If it will be successful. So by linking with this research, these innovations, if we link with commerce, that means with startups, definitely our students, because actually earlier days, actually students are coming to the institute or any colleges for doing their research. That means 2 years, 3 years. Actually that was not linked with the industries. most of the research actually, if you see some earlier days, the research are being awarded with science development, and that is being just like a coursework and in the textbooks. But it was not linked with the industries, and very few was linked with the industries. That's why the growth of Indian industries, if you see, it was very slow. And whatever we are reading, particularly in science, particularly in engineering, mostly we'll have to learn that it is from European countries, it is from American countries or something like that. So this is the time where we'll link our brain to the industries so that we can grow in multifold manners. So in this Chintan Shivir, whatever the scientists are here, they are discussing, and some scientists are coming here and discussing. Definitely, actually, after 1 week, we will bring some ideas how we will bring this development, this innovation with the help of the industries, or any individual PhD students, they can start their own startups. In CPET also, we are organized time to time these startup programs. Also, we are having one incubating centers. So any students, if really interested to start their own startup, they can come to CPET to get that facilities. And here also, lot of students from CPET, they are attending. And we should not feel that whatever research we are doing, that is not helpful for mankind. We have to bring certain ideas, certain innovative ideas, and we will link with our research paper so that it will directly go to the industries, or any individual students, they can start their own startups. So it is now we are focusing, all the institutes, they are focusing, all the institutes, they are running this type of programs. That means the students should get the idea to bring their startups, their own industries, and how to develop some new ideas to reality. So this is all about. CPET is open all the time for the students. CPET is running regular courses. Also, some industry people, they are coming to get CPET's help. CPET is actually in CPET, particularly in Bhubaneswar, in that testing department. We are having this enable accreditation with VIS approved labs, and up to 70 materials, 70 products, we are having this facility here. If all together we will see the facility of other CPET centers, up to 150 items or articles, that is BS items, that means ISI marked products, particularly here 70, all over India, if you see that 150 items, that is VS accredited, that lab actually we are providing up to 70 items. That is, also we are having another tool department, also we are having one processing department. Any students or any individuals who wants to start their industry, they can take the facilities of CPET. CPET, whatever the machines are there, mostly are industrial ready. We are not asking or suggesting any new entrepreneurs to start their own industry immediately. They can have the facility from CPET. They can initially he can start their manufacturing items, and he can establish his business. After that, he can bring or he can go for these industries. Initially, with the facilities of CPET, when he will be a little bit acquainted with the business models, then he can start the industries. And starting industry without any type of exposure or experience, there is a chance of failures. So all the CPET centers, we are providing new entrepreneurs to have our facilities fast for 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months. When they have some experience in business, they can start their own industries, so that failure chances will be very, very less. So some students, they are taking the facility of CPET and establishing, and particularly in CPET of Bhubaneswar, we have trained lot of entrepreneurs to start their industries. If you see that nearly some 60 industries developed by CPET's supervisions, not only in Bhubaneswar, all across the state. So this is the outcome of CPET. If one institute is developing lot of industries, I feel that other institute also to come forward to develop some industries or new entrepreneurs. Thank you very much. We will be available at CPET Bhubaneswar. Anyone, if interested to start their plastic industries or to develop some plastic articles or items or to develop some material blends or alloys in plastics, they can come to CPETs. We are having exclusive one research lab to develop biodegradable polymers, cells, that means solar cells, and we are also having some innovative ideas. That lab is there. Anyone is interested to have their innovations or ideas to develop into reality, they can come to CPET and have our facilities. And of course, all the facilities that is being used by the students and some industry peoples. Also, research scholars are there to help you out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sahu. I will now request our next guest of honor, Mr. Daitari Kamila, General Manager R&D, Jindal Stainless Limited, Kalinganagar, to grace us with his address.
Thank you. Good morning, all. Respected Director Sir, all the dignitaries present on the desk, scientists of IMT, supporting staff of IMT, media partner, research scholars and students. I really feel proud and very obliged to be a part of this technical event. Honestly, the initiative by our Honorable Minister on this 1 week, 1 lab program is very much helpful for our industry, especially when one represents the industry to understand whatever activities are going on at the IMT laboratory. So, during this entire weekend, all the scientists of IMT, they took very much pain and hard work to showcase their various facilities, to showcase their various projects already been going on or already been done, just like to related to the materials, mineral bed materials, mining materials, advanced technology available for material characterization, advanced facility available for mineral beneficiation and agglomeration, and most importantly, the waste material utilization. I am not new to this institute. We have a long partnership with IMT since last more than a decade. It is a kind of second workplace to me. My workplace is about 2.5 hours from this place, but I used to visit IMT at least once in a month to discuss on various collaborative projects. Whenever I approach IMT, the scientists are so humble. Even for a very crucial problem, they provide a simple, affordable, and applicable solution. I appreciate and thankful for that. I'll not take much time of yours. And lastly, I would like to thank once again to the entire management committee, the organizing committee for inviting me. And with this, I conclude. Thank you so much.
As a token of our deep gratitude, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our chief guest and today's guest of honor, May I request our beloved director, Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, to present mementos as a symbol of our appreciation.
DS राव जी आइए।
बाकी जो इनवाइटेड है सबको बुला लेते हैं तो चौधरी आप भी नहीं। ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে। প্লাস্টিকটা খুলে দিতে হবে। इन लोगों का नाम कंटिन्यूस आएगा और चाहिए कंटिन्यूस चलेगा। We also have some dignitaries off stage. Dr. R.M. Mohanty, CSIR headquarters. Professor Mousumi Padi, XIMB Bhubaneswar. Dr. Tapon K. Raut, Tata. नेम बोलने के नाम मना किया। आप बुला लीजिए जो आपका गेस्ट है। मैडम, प्रतिमा मैडम प्लीज। Pratima madam, please come on. बैग देना है ना। हाँ है, मैं अनाउंस करूँ नाम अनाउंस करूँ? है। ओके, सो अभी टी ब्रेक कर देते हैं। टी ब्रेक के बाद और 10 minutes. We'll adjourn for a brief tea break for around 10 minutes where you can network and enjoy some refreshments. Please be mindful of the time as we have an exciting panel discussion planned for the next session. Correct. आए, move, जल्दी move. अच्छा, टी ब्रेक के बाद क्या बोल रहे हैं?
अरे तो देख
कहाँ पे मैसेज है?
तुम अंदर बैठ के क्या करती हो? मैसेज भी नहीं देखते, अपडेट क्या चल रहा है? मटेरियल वाला ग्रुप कहाँ है? तुम्हें पता है
OW है इधर।
क्या देखते हो तुम बैठे?
रजिस्टर कॉलिंग करने के बाद बारे की रजिस्टर कोई नहीं।
हम लोग बैठे क्या करते हैं? जो अपडेट आता है व्हाट्सएप ही करेंगे, फोन पे कर नहीं सकते।
अच्छा सुनो ना, मैं बोलছি রেজিস্ট্রেশন যাওয়ার পরে তুমি বলে দাও তো বাইরে গিয়ে রেজিস্ট্রেশন করে নিতে।
দরকার নেই আমাদের তো লাঞ্চ নেই।
না রেজিস্ট্রেশন আমি করিনি, অ্যানাউন্স করে দাও।
Those who have not registered, please register outside registration desk.
to every one of you. I'm very glad that DSIR, the Department
I'd like to request everyone to come back to the Bhatnagar hall, please.
These are government. That is the place where people make. And those things have to cooperate with the government. There are also these things. I don't know to manage. I'll see if it's after 6:30 or something. Then we can yeah, sure. I'll meet you afterwards. Maybe after 5:30 or something. Sure.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Dr. Y.S. Chaudhary, Coordinator IMMT DSIR CRTDH, to give an overview of S&T interventions for SME and MSME at CSIR-IMMT. Dr. Chaudhary, please.
Can you please come inside? Manju, Shahid, can you please call all? Please come inside and be seated. We are running behind schedule, so I'll be very quick in this brief overview about the CRTDH. Maybe let the others come inside and be seated, and then I'll start. Okay, so very good afternoon to all of you. Myself, Chintan Chaudhary. So I'm going to talk about the MSME Connect with CRTDH and the kind of facilities which are available for the MSME startup entrepreneurs. So as we all know, like MSME is the backbone of the nation, as it contributes very good fraction to the GDP, which is almost nearly 37% of the GDP. And out of it, the major chunk is basically from the MSME which are engaged in services sector. And from manufacturing sector, it is only nearly 7% and so. So that is where a lot of intervention, be it technological, scientific intervention, and even the skill development and felicitation of value addition of the products for the MSME is required in order to sustain in the competitive market. So with that idea, this DSR has churned out a program called CRTDH, which stands for Common Research and Technology Development Hub. And one of these CRTDH has been established at CSIR-IMMT, which you will be visiting after lunch, where all the kind of activities which are being undertaken in collaboration with MSME startups are on display, and the kind of help can be extended from CRTDH through IMMT and other CSIR labs will also be there. So this CRTDH was basically established in 2019, which anyway you already have seen. Okay. So this is all about like, okay, next. Yeah. Okay. So it was established in 2019, and since then we have been engaged to provide support to all the small industries, small businesses. Next. And the intervention area is basically in the mainly in the chemical processes, metallurgical processes, and new materials, and which covers all the facets of material research. As you know, like IMT, major focus thrust is on the various perspective of these materials and minerals. So it covers all those aspects, and the objective of this CRTDH is to provide hand-holding through training and skill development, and to provide know-how support for value addition of their products, and also to provide access to the technologies which are already available at IMT, and also to the sister labs of IMMT, like other CSR labs, which can be brought on board in contact with you. So, and where even the further customization can be done. So that all that kind of possibility does exist, and few examples I'll share where we have already transferred such of the technologies and which are being implemented at ground. And also to provide access to the whatever the R&D infrastructure, as you know, like it is a research institute. So there are so many sophisticated equipment facility, and for many kind of problems where you really as a small business cannot afford to have that kind of a sophisticated instrumentation, and not also required to invest so much of money. But that is something for some value addition you need to know fundamentally like what kind of microstructures and all those things are there, so accordingly you can optimize the process. So all that kind of intervention and support can be provided and is being provided from by CRTDH at IMT. And so far we have been engaged with various MSMEs startups, and almost nearly 85 plus we have sensitized and have been actively working, and some of those our associates are even sitting among you. And this is like in different domains, just I have classified like, so there are in coatings, materials, chemical processes, material characterization, and lot more number is on this chemical and mechanical properties analysis part, as you can see there. And this is like where you can see that how our clients, like the customers of MSMEs are there like distributed. So not only we are covering Odisha, the major focus of course is within Odisha and nearby, but there are a few clients who are from the other parts of the country. And these are some of the major facilities which I need not to elaborate. I think in second half you will be visiting, so you can see all those furnaces, TGA, DTA, and this UTM, universal testing machine, so where you can do the creep, fatigue, stress, all that kind of analysis which is required for metal and metallurgical samples. And these are like other facilities. These are the one for the coatings. So we have facilities for corrosion resistance, abrasion resistance, tribological testing, and for coating for different kind of like be it thermal barrier coating, be it antimicrobial, and so on, spray drying and all that kind of facilities are there. And also this metal craft, like being in Odisha, so there is a big business about this metal craft. So where we have a sub theme of metal craft, where we are trying to provide support to these artisans in various ways. So some of those facilities have been developed, as you can see there. And this is all other infrastructure as one you are sitting, and you will see in CRTDH. Okay. And so far we have almost sensitized lot many MSMEs and trained more than 200 manpowers, and also it includes the individual like those self-help group leaders, because they have a much more societal impact, because they represent almost like one group came from near to Bhubaneswar, so they, each of that group self-help group leader represented almost 100 those working persons. Yeah. And these are kind of like the transfer of those technology we have done. So just few example I'll give you quickly. So this is another list. So this is one like this humidity cool. So it is something low cost fridge basically. It can be for vegetable vendors. So where we have developed this humidity cool, where the temperature can be maintained 10 degree below the ambient temperature, and basically to retain the moisture content and all that of these vegetables. It has been already been transferred to one of the MSME. This is another product like from waste to wealth. This is one example, but we are also working on this electronic waste. So we are also extracting those metals and the polymer parts separately, and being used those recovered materials for different applications. So here it is from the agro waste. So where this potash and this biochar has been obtained from this by pyrolysis of this banana waste, and this is already in market where it is being used for the fertilizer application. And this is another application of charcoal. So for this agarbatti, you need a very charcoal of a very particular characteristics, and as I have been told that it is being imported, so we do not have an indigenous source. So that also has been developed, which meets the criteria which is required for these agarbattis in sense. So already those manufacturing is going on, and some training has also been provided on this agarbatti manufacturing at CSIR-IMMT IMT. And these are another waste to wealth application, where from rice husk, this SIC, which is very much required for various applications. So of more than 95% purity has been obtained from rice husk by plasma processing, and it has been already transferred, and further scale up is required. So I think the work in that direction is going on. Okay. So these are some of the intervention where we are providing for this metal craft. One is like this, they use this conventional furnace, so the energy efficiency is not that high. Apart from that, there is a smoke, so it is hazardous to their health. So this one furnace has been designed by our sister lab NML Jamshedpur, and IMT in collaboration with NML has transferred this technology, and this furnace is very energy efficient, like almost 20 to 30% energy efficient, and it is almost smokeless. So it is where like the design is in such a way that where whatever the heat is being generated is being utilized to heat the brass, whatever that melting furnace and all that. And apart from that, also looking at the developing like different alternative to this brass, so pewter material, pewter based artisan items, and also aluminum alloys. And also this tarnishing is another problem for these metal crafts items. So there is one solution already developed by our one of the CSIR lab, but at IMT also under CRTDH, the siloxane based solution has been developed. So that improves almost 3 times longevity to retain the shining or luster of that item. So which is we are in process to transfer that technology, the process of this siloxane coating. Next please. And this is, as I mentioned, like this furnace, it has already been set up even near to Bhubaneswar in Pipli, Equala. So there you can see even some of the items which are on display, where they are using this furnace for a part of the process while making those fittings for the bathroom and all that. So which you can see in person there in CRTDH. And we also keep providing different kind of training, as I mentioned, and skill development, as you can see there. And apart from that, so this is something like briefly about what we do at CRTDH. And this is another area where I think CRTDH can also look into, where the artificial intelligence. And this is something could be very much useful in order to help small businesses, particularly where it can help particularly to reduce the time spent, because you can automate a repeated task, analyze a large number of amounts of data, and free up some time to focus on other tasks. Also lower the cost, because by improving the efficiency, so you can lower the cost of this. And apart from that, there are many other areas where the intervention of this AI can be looked into, such as in manufacturing, so where the automation, the predictive maintenance, inspection of defects, and assembly of those components can be done by using the AI. And there is one example on the other side you can see, where for this iron ore industry, what they do is this iron ore pellets are goes through the conveyor belt, and there it has to have certain amount of moisture and also the side distribution. So generally there used to be a person physically who used to keep monitoring, so there are chances of error and all that. So our colleague have developed automatic this automated sensor for moisture and dosing, and it is being under test with in fact one of the big industry in Odisha. So these are the kind of intervention we can further look at from the CRTDH. Probably DSR can take a note of it. like in terms of this futuristic technology. And this is just one example, but apart from that, now also this green energy. So that is where also a lot of work can be done, where this CRTDH can be associated. So apart from that, I think rest you can see and we can discuss in detail at CRTDH during the exhibition, and other details you can find at its website, which is there. And I think thank you all, and I'll be happy to discuss more in detail since we are running short of time. So we can discuss later probably during the visit, and we can start with the next event. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary. We have now a panel discussion on empowering MSMEs through materials and processes. I'd like to request Dr. Bipin Shukla to be a moderator for the discussion.
Hello. Yeah. So very good afternoon to everyone. And as Dr. Chaudhary said that we are running out of time, but that is not all the time negative sentence, because we are having much interest in the different talks and sessions. So I am very sure that everybody is happy with the slight delay. But definitely we'll take a call on completing this session well in time. And we have a very learned panel with us right now, and we are going to focus on empowering MSMEs through materials and processes. IMMT has been involved in materials and processes. Everyone knows about this. Today we have talked about the CRTDH, that Common Research and Technology Development Hub, which is supported by DSIR, its activities, and people might have got some more interest. So since I am from DSIR, definitely this panel discussion may lead towards a little bit more in CRTDH also. So not taking much time, I'll start with Dr. Sujata Chaklanobis, who is heading the CRTDH scheme in DSIR. And since I thought she is from the department and she is heading this scheme, so I think just to set the tone of this panel, it would be better if I should start with her. So Madam, I would request you to tell us about the expectations of CRTDH from different stakeholders. And I am very happy to see that most of the stakeholders are here, like be it MSMEs, associations, academia, even I think some individual users would also be present, and students are also there. So I would request you to set the tone and what are the expectations of CRTDH in fulfilling the expectation of MSME and other stakeholders.
Thank you, Dr. Shukla. Good afternoon once again to all of you. I think it's a very important question what Dr. Shukla has posed, that what are the expectations of our stakeholders from CRTDH. In fact, I talked about the three vertices of the Golden Triangle. The two vertices are being represented by industry and academia. By academia, I mean the research institute where the CRTDH is established, and also other research institutions of the country. And MSMEs is the second vertice. So basically, our stakeholders are the micro, small, and medium enterprises who are looking forward or looking towards the CRTDH to bring out new products and processes into the market, which on their own sometimes they are not able to do because, as I said in my talk, that because of paucity of funds to establish the state-of-art infrastructure and equipment in their in-house R&D setup. And some of them may not be even having an in-house R&D setup. So they look forward to some sort of a space also in the CRTDH, which many CRTDHs are offering. They are incubating some of the MSMEs, and it all depends upon the sector in which they are working. I am sure many such collaborations are being done at IMMT also, and similar kind of collaborations are being done in various other CRTDHs. I was really fascinated by one of the slide of Dr. Chaudhary, with what he made about the futuristic technologies. That has caught a lot of attention of mine. He was talking about the role of AI, ML, and other futuristic technology. In fact, I am very much fascinated towards the various verticals of the fourth industrial revolution, what we call Industry 4.0. There are 9 verticals which comprises of, say, AI, that is artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robots. We don't call it robots in Industry 4.0. We say cobots, collaborative robots, cobots. Similarly, 3D printing, so on and so forth. In fact, by applying these kind of futuristic technologies, what happens is that the error is minimized. In fact, it would be error-free. As a result, what happens is that you get the productivity is more at a lower cost, because the wastage is minimized. In fact, the wastage is ruled out. So I think a lot has been done in the various areas of the core niche or the core areas in which these CRTDHs are functioning. I think now one looks forward towards these futuristic technologies as well, because I think many of the MSMEs have not been sensitized by these kind of futuristic technologies, which I was really happy to see the slide what Dr. Chaudhary showed. Basically, they have this kind of expertise, because then only he could show this slide. So I'm really happy to be here at IMMT Bhubaneswar to see that they are looking forward towards applying these kind of futuristic technologies in their workspace, and thereby offering it to the MSMEs who are our stakeholder. So I would request all the MSMEs, please get in touch. If you are from the sector in which IMMT is working, please get in touch with Dr. Chaudhary and his team. I was having a talk with the director. Hats off to him. The kind of things he is doing, and his plans, his vision, what he was talking about, I was amazed, and many new things would be coming up, I'm sure, under his able leadership and under his vision. So many things will come up. I think please get in touch with the CRTDH at IMMT, get benefited out of it. I talked about a couple of aspirations and expectations of MSMEs. You might be having some more. You can pose as questions to IMMT in the when we go ahead. So that's all I could say, that what is being expected by the MSMEs.
Thank you, madam. I think now the target is set. We'll more focus on futuristic technologies which could be implemented through our CRTDH and which can be beneficial to the MSMEs and other stakeholders. But definitely we'll emphasize on societal impact also. So we have to see a good match of these two. Now I'll request Professor Dsir. Sir, actually ACSIR is basically partly academic in flavor, but also industrial, as it is related to CSIR related activities. So I think you are one of the best person who can talk much about the technologies. Normally when we see academia, we see that TRL3 up to level TRL3 level technology they are developing, lab scale, or probably a little bit ahead. But you have that edge that in collaboration with CSIR labs, you can go up to 5 or 6, up to that. So I would request you that we have 18 CRTDs across the country. Not only this one, we have 18 such. So I would request you if you can give some throw some light on the mechanism, how can any technology which is of TRL3 to 5, and how can it be moved ahead so that they can put into the market.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And as you very rightly said that ACSIR is an institution which has been essentially created to give an academic interface for CSIR. And at the time of its establishment, about 10-11 years back, the idea was that how to channelize the research which is being conducted in CSIR laboratories, how to channelize that research in terms of producing not only the best human resource, the manpower, but also to provide them a platform where they can think in terms of how to protect their intellectual property as well. Because earlier, the PhD students were registered with different universities, and many a times there were issues regarding the IPRs and other knowledge generated by the students and the faculty. But over the period of time, I must say that in the last 10 years of its development, ACSIR has also added to its kitty many other institutions, and some of ICMR institutions and some DST institutions, and also others, I would say, wherein we have enhanced our ambit of our activity. So at the moment, yes, of course, almost all the CSIR laboratories are associated, and they are the academic centers of ACSIR, but there are some associated academic centers also, as I told you. So looking at the growth, the progress which we have made, I would say that it has remained centric to maybe just issuance of degrees and kind of seeing that how the students can get their degrees on time and they can move forward. But in the recent 1 year, with the kind of focus which is now on emerging and innovative technologies, ACSIR is also stepping into this arena wherein, of course, we were supposed to do that, but because of many other teething troubles, I would say, that could not be done. But now we are poised to take up this activity in a very big way. So as I mentioned in my earlier talk here, it's maybe few minutes back, we are planning to not only channelize these research activities, but we want to associate these research activities with the industrial support right from the beginning. I spoke, I don't know whether you were here that time, I spoke at length as to we are shortly launching, in fact it has already been approved, we'll be shortly launching a PhD program which actually involves the industry right from the beginning. So right up to the stage where they could go up to having their own startups, or they could have their own enterprises, or they could be absorbed in the industries who will be supporting them. So this is a unique program wherein we are trying to tell the student that of course it's an academic program, a PhD program, but we want to make it purely a technology driven program, in the sense that we would not be insisting on a publication, but we would be insisting on development of a technology. So even as you rightly said, that even if a student reaches, say, TRL level 3, 4, so we would have no hesitation in awarding a PhD degree to that student, because we will be focusing on that technology. So by that way, what we are trying to do is we are trying to integrate the technology aspects, the innovation aspect, and the industry linkage. That's how we have named this PhD program as iPhD. And I here will stand for innovation, it will stand for imagination, it will stand for industry linkage. So that is the idea, that how we want to develop it. It's already developed now, we have to launch it. Maybe it will be done in another 1 month. But one point which you very rightly said, and which is the focus of today, as to how we can strengthen the MSMEs, how we can empower them so that they could come out and they could they are looking to CSIR, or they are looking to the students and faculty. So one of the areas, one of the difficulties which generally are faced are that we are not aware, the scientists, I would not say generalize this particular term, I am saying generally, that we are not really aware of what is the real life problem, what is the problem which is being faced by the masses. Because many a times the scientists remain confined to their laboratories, they keep on doing good research, and then finally when they develop a technology, then they reach out to the masses that, look, I have developed this technology, now you can move ahead. But let there be a reverse process. These MSMEs, I think if they could come out with the problems which they really feel that they need a solution for. So if they come out with those problems, and maybe perhaps you are already doing it, I may not be aware, that's why it's my fault that I may not be aware, but I think that this reverse thing would be much better if they come out with some problems which are finally selected by your department and then given to the, I would say, the researchers, to the students. Let the students or the scientists work on those problems, find a solution to that and go back. So there will always be a kind of interaction, because many a times I feel that our research does not find a societal relevance, but in this case it would be right from the beginning that you are having a problem which the society is facing. So in that sense, I think they could be very good, I would say, people who would actually lead to identification of some good problems wherein innovation is required, wherein the development of technology is required. And of course, once you do that, the student will also feel kind of that emotional connect, because ultimately he or she will realize that I am actually trying to solve a real life problem. So I would say that these smaller, even if the problem is very small, but let it come, let it emerge from somewhere, that this is a problem and we need to have a solution for that. So that in my opinion would be a great thing to do, and this back and forth cross connection would definitely help us to develop new technologies, to go into newer and newer areas. And also, as Madam said in her presentation earlier, that how we can become a fully developed nation. We are at this point, we are at an interface. The recent G20 meeting also showed our country, our Honorable Prime Minister showed to the world that we are at that interface where we would just need a little bit of push to become a developed country. So I think if we really want to do that, we need to take everybody into confidence and show to the world once again that our problems can be solved by us only. We cannot have a technology imported from somewhere to solve our problems, because we have to come forward. Our students, our research scholars, our faculty, scientists, they have to come forward to find solutions to problems which we are facing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think let me first give you best wishes for your PhD scheme, and definitely this is something very innovative. And a few years, I think probably 2 years back, I was talking to one of the IT directors, and he talked on that line. He said that why we are thinking only publication or PhD in form of report or thesis or patent, why not in a form of startup also? So I think now our leading organizations are thinking in that direction, and this is good sign for the country also. Second thing which you talked about, identification of problems. So as madam also said that futuristic technology and even the concept of Chintan Shivir which we have started is for identifying 3 to 5 grand challenges in every Chintan Shivir. So I expect that at the end of the panel discussion, if we can have 3 to 5 challenges also, and definitely I think IMMT might have some challenges which I think they can talk to you, your students can work on that, and then we can get the real problem getting solved. So thank you. Now we have another expert, Dr. P.K. Sahu, who is from CPET. I would like to know, like we know that you are in CPET, this is related to petrochemical industry sector, and definitely most of the time processing is very important step or stage in petrochemical sectors. And also we see that IMMT is also focusing on processing a lot. So I would like to know that what type of mainly AI related interventions which you have incorporated in petrochemical sector, and the same way you can suggest IMMT or CRTDH to implement AI or any other futuristic technology.
Thank you. Obviously, actually, AI, that is one emerging field, actually, that will be incorporated in process, particularly in manufacturing sectors. In chemical process or polymerization process, that is there, actually, something is specified, means actually that will be processed and that will be polymerized, and we will get our polymers. If some blends are there, means actually that in incorporation of that, we can do that. Particularly in the manufacturing process, in the form of robotics, actually that has been implemented since long. Also in India, also in some sectors, particularly in medical sectors, already that is implemented. Also in electrical sector, that is also implemented, where human interfacing is minimal to reduce that faults and issues in that product particularly. As you know that actually since COVID, particularly we are facing challenges, particularly on materials, whether that is materials in medical sectors, material in chemical sectors. That means actually mostly we were depending upon materials from China, and particularly in our sector also, in polymeric and plastic sector also, we are actually depending some materials China, and indigenously we are developing all those materials. So our focus is to develop as much as a materials as per our need, and particularly to bring India to a stage that actually we can challenge, particularly we can cater our manufacturing services to all international countries. That is our focus and vision and mission of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that we can bring this nation to third largest economy. For doing that, definitely innovation plays a great role. And as already our panelists already discussed, that actually we are bringing industries, research, academic, and institute all together, so that actually our research papers should not be in a piece of papers and serve for our future students, particularly that will cater the services to the industries and need. And need of our is that we have to develop as much as materials we can develop as much as process means the processing techniques. And sometimes particularly, as you know, that actually India already developed countries and we are manufacturing each and every machineries, but actually in certain areas we are still lacking, like in semiconductors. So in certain areas still we are lacking and we are facing challenges like API in for making medicines. So that's actually some companies have already come up. Actually, if you see the age of the companies is very new, maybe 2 years, 3 years. Just after COVID, if you analyze the data, that a lot of new entrepreneurs, new students, particularly very young age, they have started their startups. So all the mostly, if not 100%, at least 80% of research paper or innovation, if we will attach with these startups, definitely we can bring all together these entrepreneurs, as gentleman told, that a sciencepreneur and some industry, so that actually we can eliminate that gap actually from industry to institute to students to research scholars. So that means under one roof, when we will bring one concept, that whatever innovation we will be doing, that will directly go to the industries or startups and to cater services to the mankind, or we can export 100% exports. Definitely we will bring the visions of becoming the third largest economy of the country true. This is all about, and CPET is all, working all together, and already CPET has developed a lot of materials, particularly in biodegradable sectors, in paint industries, in cells, particularly solar cells and battery cells. So a lot of innovation is still needed, and a lot of students are enrolling themselves to develop all those materials. So any new idea, if you are bringing to become that realistic products, then CPET is the ideal places, because actually from the day one, CPET caters its services to the industries. Every year, nearly 800 industries taking services from CPETs, and nearly 10 to 20 new entrepreneurs CPET is developing. And most of the students, whoever working in, whoever graduating from CPETs or doing some research papers, they are going to the industries. After a few years, they are starting their own industries. So this is industry-ready institutes. So you can take advantage of that type of facilities, what exactly we are having, not only in CPET Bhubaneswar, but also in across the countries. In each and every state, CPET presence is there, and CPET is well connected to the industries, students, and not only engineering students, also CPET caters its services to medical students, particularly those who are doing this dental services or BDS and MDS. A lot of mechanical development and a lot of chemical development required, particularly for their dental surgery and something like that. Particularly in surgery sectors, as you know, that actually a lot of biopolymers are getting developed, and they are doing a lot of research scholars, particularly medical students, they are doing research, and CPET is the ideal places to provide all such facilities. This is all about, and as far as AI is concerned, that is in the form of robotics we are using, and particularly in the sectors of electronics, telecommunications, and medicals, and as well as manufacturing sector is there. Definitely for by adopting these techniques, we are improving our productivity and quality. Thank you very much. Any questions from audience, they can ask directly to me, because CPET is well connected with the industry and people. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Sahu. I think the purpose of Chintan Shivir is to identify grand challenges, and I think CPET has vast experience in related to futuristic technology. So what I would expect that at the end of today's session, if IMMT can sit with CPET, identify.
Already we have MOU also.
No, not MOU. What we want, that 5 not very big challenges. Some challenges which are easily implementable.
Definitely.
On ground for MSMEs, for the remotest people. So that will have more reach, and I think everybody is not touching that that reach. So that would be something very interesting. So thank you. I think other panelists I expect from industry, but I think Jindal Stainless Limited. No. So no, I'll come to director sir then. In the morning, actually, you talked about this 1 week, 1 lab, and it was very interesting to know that you said that waste is not waste. Waste is a resource. Then waste is a wealth. So now I want to go a little bit ahead. Waste should not be an hindrance for health. And when we see the different activities and projects which CRTDH has taken up, like we talked about agarbatti manufacturing, we talked about this silica from, all these things, even furnace, all these things. We see that lot of health hazard is whosoever is working in this area. So I would like that if you can throw some of the light that such type of things, definitely you are converting into resource and wealth, but still there are chances that they may not be that healthy practice. How can we intervene into this to make more healthier, as well as how can we apply some technology to make their life more better?
Basically to mitigate occupational hazards.
Thank you, Suklaji, and all our colleagues from DSIR. Let me start that DSIR is spearheaded by two persons. One is Saraswati, one is Lakshmi. Our secretary DSIR, and now Dr. Sujata is here. And when I joined, I am too young person of this organization. When I have seen, when I joined 4.5 months back, I was very much excited to see IMMT, although I know IMMT since long. But when I have become a part of the family member of IMMT, and in particular when I have seen CRTDH, I have got very much excited. When Lakshmi is generating funds, our people are translating technology, and lot of MSMEs and entrepreneurs, although 4.5 months is too less a time, but I have personally experienced, and by visiting to industry as well, that which type of services we are doing. Since today's focus is on MSME, so I will limit to the MSME, and the question asked by Suklaji is occupational health. Let me start in 1 week, 1 lab program. Day before yesterday, we have redefined for at least for IMMT, we will not use the word waste from the dictionary. And we have abbreviated in a different manner, and that is particularly very, very useful for all the MSME. In our definition, waste has been abbreviated like W is wealth, A is asset, S is science, T is technology, and E is equal to environment and entrepreneurs. So this is the IMMT definition of the waste. It has to be used as a resource with a proper, sustainable, occupational and environmental manner for good science and technology intervention, what is wealth and what is asset. If it is going to the building materials or construction materials, then it will become a asset creation, and the other well-being will come for the wealth creation. So that is our approach. Now, if we are coming to the occupational health, then any resource we are using in our institute, we have also taken a stride for working in a safe and secure environment. Whatever material you handle, whatever process and technology you are developing, a proper safety, because safety first, and how to handle the material. So my team at CSIR-IMMT will ensure that proper safety and material handling precautions. That's why I told to all my colleagues in 2 or 3 addresses, whenever we handle material, we must use MSTS, Material Safety Data Sheet, and that is the core. And we are slowly going to implement that whoever uses a single chemical or single material, they should know ins and out. We talk nano, but are we capable of handling nano? Is it not going for the hazards? If you will come, so those type of practices will help our CRTDs to explore further. If we'll come that how our CRTDs will expand, there is a lot of chances of expansion. If MSME has to look, we have to see the market difference. We need not enter into everything, whatever we want. But if there is a market difference, we can definitely intervene. One of the example, Misra ji is sitting here. Dr. O.N. Mohanty is not here right now. Tomorrow he will be joining. And Chaube ji and all our team is there. When we visited the Pipli village where our CRDATS is associated, when we have seen their process, there is lot of process interventions and lot of scientific validation is required. If you want to support MSME, already madam with your help and DSIR help, we have created facilities and we will be creating facilities. We are also trying to integrate all our facilities and it will be advertised in such a manner that quality, if we want to compete, if we want to sustain into the market, scientific validation, quality with appropriate safety norms, that will be our next year or whatever extension will come of DSIR, this will be the theme. So like that we can do. Right now, Dr. Ajay Dharsar, Manoj Dharsar is here, our director ACSIR. You know, CSIR 800 is a appropriate program that where we will reach to the people. The thinking is that when I visited that industry, you will get idea from there. So in 800 program in future, we are going to send all our students to some of the MSME and villages. Whenever you write the observations of the common people, we have learned a hard way from the industry that customer feedback in a Toyota company led to a product. When I was working from them, we used to get compiled data of 1,000, 2,000 customers across the globe. When I was working there, Qualis was there. If you'll remember Qualis, after 5 or 6 people is traveling into the car for a longer drive, it used to smell. That those type of information that in a closed atmosphere, how it will happen. So then we have come with a solution that you have to create hydrophilic surface within and how things will be. So tomorrow, if you'll see today, no car is smelling. The observation, experience of the people is very important. I always tell the CSIR is right now that we have built the capacity. DSIR and CSIR is on. DSIR is our own parent organization. And over the last 80 years, we have built capacity in each and every field. And we want to give it to all the MSMEs. If you want services, services is there for you. If you want development, you are development for you. And whatever technology, right now technology earlier, the traditional technology was in there, so they don't want to reveal. But today, if will not reveal, because it is across the Google, it is available. So why don't all our MSME or probable entrepreneur should come to us and tell like a homeopathy doctor. I am a firm believer, not for doctory, but the way doctory is done. Tell your symptoms, tell your problems, draw a specification, we can become global leader. In particular, Odisha is having reach. We can create at least 10,000 of entrepreneurs. If you'll see the mine waste, if you'll see the what is called waste, what is called tailings, what is called overburden, what is called urban mining. So this is the place, and you have an institute which has built the capacity over the year, and above all, we have got CRTDH, and that is only to promote and to provide help to all of you. So since lunch is there, so I don't want to take your health at stake. So in occupational, that question whatever he asked, so first take lunch, put everything into become freshen up. We are there, and I am a man in a hurry. Not in a hurry for what purpose? I want to go with a speed, because opportunity never comes again and again. And this is the right opportunity. I got a 6-year chance. 5th month will be over. So I want that all our colleagues, all our scientists, technical, administration should work in a style that we have the potential to defeat China. Only signing system is there because we are not, if we are quality conscious, and the intelligence has been given to all Indians by the God. Resource has been given by the God or nature, whatever you tell. Let us use nature in a perfect manner. Learn from the nature. Use like that. Occupational hazard will not come. See the sea. Yesterday we have seen Samudra Manthan. So now all our scientists, all our entrepreneurs should do the Odisha Manthan, nature Manthan. If we'll do Manthan again and again, lot of ideas will come. And my request to all of you, give respect to your elder. Note down the experience. That experience will give you technology. And that's why in our own institute, first my initiative to meet was to the person who has built this organization for 60 years. That's why we are in Diamond Jubilee. Use their wiseness, use their experience. For that's why you don't have to start from the very beginning. Use the experience, help the people, help the MSME, and this institute is yours. You adopt it, you come with an open heart, all technology, all solution, without any health intervention will come. We are committed for safe, healthy, eco-friendly technologies and processes. And this technology, what our Dr. Chaudhary is a very forceful, very dedicated person. So what technology you told that for vendors you are making, so that cool name should be very attractive. Bhilkul or Farmkul, something you create and do more decorative appearance outside. It is a good technology, but आज की दुनिया में जिल्द की भी बहुत ज़रूरत है, जो कि चाइना जिल्द प्रदान करता है. बहुत अच्छे टेक्स्ट बुक है, आप उसको पढ़ते नहीं हैं, रोड में फेंका हुआ है क्योंकि उसका जिल्द अच्छा नहीं है. लेकिन ऑनलाइन जब देखते हैं तो उसके ऊपर चमक दमक और थोड़ा एक अच्छा टाइटल लगा हो, तो उस तरह का लेटेस्ट पैकेज आवर टेक्नोलॉजी इन ए वेरी गुड रैपर. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. I think you started with the specific question and you ended with a very motivational answer and suggestions to everyone. And I think that shows the wider vision of yours. Actually, in the beginning, in the morning, you talked about waste, and ultimately what you said that there is no waste, and that is what I was also thinking, that the fifth point should be that there should be no waste. And it's good to see that you have even made it an acronym of something, which is also motivating. And I will say that you have not only touched, I talked that in that question about the health of the stakeholders or CRTD people, but you went up to the healthy system, healthy environment. I think that shows the vision of yours, and definitely I think at the end of this panel discussion, I think no more panelists, Dr. Chaudhary. So at the end of this panel discussion, I think we are in a better condition that we can say that all the panelists are not only committed towards their responsibility, but also they are ready to do some networking also, which is the ultimate objective of our Chintan Shivir. And I am sure that Professor Dr. Chaudhary would be definitely, by the end of tonight, he'll send me 5 grand challenges. So that is the outcome of this panel discussion. So I would say thank you everyone for taking interest in discussion as well as giving their thought. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anybody question, even a quick question, if you have to go in a hurry, the industry person, if you have any specific question, please ask. Yeah, आगे आ जाइए.
A warm afternoon to everyone. First of all, I am thankful to Professor Ramanujan sir, the most dynamic and an innovative director the CSIR-IMMT has ever seen. As the program is concerned, so far the program is concerned, 1 week at 1 week and 1 lab by CSIR and DSIR and Ministry of Science and Technology. Myself, Dr. M.D. Washim Akhtar, I am an HSR PhD fellow from CSIR Niri. Right now, I am an Chief Sustainability Officer at 3R Zero Waste Private Limited at IMT Manesar, Haryana, and also I simultaneously I am consulting with the Energy and Resource Institute, TERI, New Delhi, and recently I have joined as a NPDF proposed NPDF research scholars at Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. My question is, sir, I am a graphene scientist. I have planned to start a first of its kind graphene lithium or anything composite battery in India to support electric vehicles and just a transition and a zero emission like that, which pertaining to sustainability and also climate change.
Thank you.
on nature.
Once again, I told you that you have to be very, very careful in your approach.
Yes, sir.
Graphene is a buzzword. If you will survey Google, you will get millions of graphene paper. And please don't think, I am telling you, I am not discouraging you.
Yeah,
I am
okay.
telling you food for thought that what a entrepreneur should think into that direction. Graphene, how much quantity can be synthesized, how much layer it has come,
Yes, sir.
how to handle that Dr. Suklaji was asking, that is there. And if I am an entrepreneur, first I will become a material supplier, a good quality graphene.
Yes,
with
sir.
a well-defined property, well-defined layers. It should not agglomerate. It is finely. So the moment you will master, then think of battery. You know, always whenever I am an entrepreneur, I should start. पहले खजूर पर चढ़ो, फिर तार पर चढ़ने की जरूरत है. If you will go at the top from the very beginning, because battery manufacturing, we have to always make a business development plan.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that for a battery plant, how much it's require? 700 crore is the minimum requirement.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the capital that you calculate. Always try to be innovative. Why don't I will apply little bit of graphene, how CPET director was talking just now, that first let me create a little bit differentiation.
Yes, sir,
Can we
definitely.
create a coating where rusting should not happen? For all the villages I will take. गांव का जो हंसुआ काटता है, that if will go, उसके ऊपर देंगे कि उसके घास नहीं लगे.
Yes, yes,
So
definitely.
if will go like that, unless you will understand the relims, it's a good idea to work in graphene, but it is saturated. Sometimes disruption happen. What Dr. Besra was talking, it will be disruptive. You know, he brought Maxine, and if you'll see the business plan of that student, you discuss with him, he has thought that in which way first be a supplier, then become the value chain, then become into that. So analyze detail. My thing is that you
yes,
have
sir.
started a good area, but it is a saturated area.
Sir, excuse me, sir. So actually, I have proposed my postdoc research to Drexel University, the father of graphene, the father of Emzin, which you have told, Professor Yuri Gogosti. And my proposal for postdoc is I have to prepare graphene from plastic waste, graphene quantum dots from plastic waste. Because the plastic is now, it is not a problem as for our today's and all these discussions nowadays. Every and each.
We will discuss, you know, you have opened one Pandora box. What should be the source of graphene? What should be this? So, whatever idea you work,
Yeah, yes, sir.
can we use I can tell you can create graphene from camphor soot also. You can create graphene from the वो जो गांव का लोहार है उसका ठोकने से जो निकलता है ना, that also it will come. So there is lot of things. That's why read. My request, you are a good student, enterprising, but बहाव में मत जाओ. Focus, focus, focus.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and suggestions. Sir.
Thank you, everyone. I think we all had a productive and fruitful discussion today.
Yes, sir. Please. Suggestion, question, order.
No, I have a suggestion to Professor Narayan. I am thankful to him for inviting me. I was a retired scientist G here. No, nowadays a lot of mosquitoes are there all around. And you are cutting bushes, as you told in the beginning. The common repellents have become really resistant. Like good night, they imported the technology from Japan and all these things I know. Why you don't take a challenge like this? Or CSR must come to limelight. You take a challenge. So everybody like Tata produced Tata Salt. Now JRD at that time was there. He told now everybody must speak of Tata Salt. CSR must come to limelight like this. Take a small problem, make it real perfect. Everybody will utter CSR. Then Professor Modi, sorry, our Prime Minister Modi will come to institution.
Sir, there are two things in your question. CSIR is already a brand. We should feel proud that we are working and we have worked in CSIR. Always we don't value ourselves. Wherever Chandrayaan thanks to us, ISRO always thanks to us, Defense always thanks to us, because Corona, everybody has learned that how to thank oxygen, plenty of oxygen. Like that, country is also moving towards, because we are such a system, the person who is flying Chandrayaan, we will Agarbatti you told. Once again, this is a snake repellent our own CSIR has made. I am always proud that I was part of that inauguration. Our scientist, Dr. Tallada Bhaskar from this IIP Dehradun, where in the aspirational districts of Navrangpur, so district magistrate of that place, because CSIR technology, is it from the food, it is from the other sources, CFTRI is involved, IMMT is involved, our terracotta water went there, then our biochar went there, like that all other labs technologies are there. The best part where I was involved in an inauguration, not in a science, what I have seen and what district magistrate has appreciated, any biomass you take, in a village type, गांव में कुट्टी काटते हैं, is a conveyor belt, it goes, and you only require, based on the moisture content of your biomass, it is converted into a briquette, and that briquette give you 4 kg of briquette, 1.5 hour of fire for cooking without soot. वो हमारे गांव के लोगों को बर्तन धोने का जरूरत पीछे से उतना मेहनत करके काला होगा नहीं. Then science comes, engineering come, what Misra is celebrating Engineers Day. Now that briquette is coming to engineering, and where we have done that fluoridized bed, that gives 3 products. First product is biochar, our own environment department, that what biochar we have talked in CSIR-IMMT, that is giving you fertilizer. Tomorrow with a certain modification it will go for water. That gives gas, we can put in a cotton cylinder and you can use for picnic. And then third thing, it gives liquid, that oil. That oil has 3 parts. First part goes for synthetic chemical manufacture. Second part tested in a Dsir park, that if will absorb into a small some sponge, it may be a ceramic, it may be other sponge, that repel the snake. And the last part, that's why I told waste is a resource. That reminder is a biotar, how it is a coal tar. And now you can see Honorable Nitin Gadkari ji site also, that they are asking IIP to put bigger plant, and in that is used for road. Once again CSIR came. Road, CSIR. Building, CSIR. Dawa, CSIR. Dua, CSIR. Metal, CSIR. Mineral, CSIR. Listen to our Honorable Prime Minister's speech of 2016 when he was addressing in the Vigyan Bhavan. Metal to mineral. Aerospace to air. See, to that, it was a good thing that CSIR is everywhere. Whoever has worked in CSIR, they should be happy, and who are future in CSIR, they should be happy.
Sir, a small suggestion, brief, I will be very brief. Dr. Narayan actually pointed out a very pertinent thing. There is a vast reservoir of goodwill across in the government, especially as you know, the central government has launched 3 very major programs in MSME department, in cooperative department, and recently that Vishwakarma thing. The state governments, through their very many departments, they are looking forward to scientific organizations like CSIR. The only thing is that we must synergize. This Nabarangpur project is a very bright example of that, where we have synergized some ICAR and CSIR labs, and you won't believe how many good things. For the first time, NBRI has made a very successful commercialization of their biofertilizer, where biochar can go, where the waste can go, where various innovative nutrients can go, what our Manish is doing, potash, etc., etc. Similarly, in the energy sector, which you mentioned, Global Biofuel Alliance has come up. From water, for building materials, for various trades like artisans, you mentioned brass, bell metal, there is smithy, there is leather, there are so many things, where synergy of CSIR, synergy of CRTDH can come. And one more thing, from my experience, I would say that MSME requires successful combination of at least 5. Number 1 is the technology that we will provide. Number 2 is the funds. Capital is a big problem. You give the technology, but no bank will, without a collateral, without something, will come forward. For that, the government has now MSME, through department they can give something. Farmers producer organization, if you produce, they can give some loan. So capital is a big problem. And the poor people in the districts don't know how to run after, how to manage that. Number 3 is the logistics. Your supply chain, your product development, marketing, and logistics. These 3, they don't know how to organize. So where we can bring synergy for all these 5 aspects, then only MSME can become successful. That is what we have learned through this program. And there comes the government help. And I think there is a vast reservoir of goodwill across state governments, various state governments. UP has started one district, one product plan. Chhattisgarh, by our side, has a very thriving program in which they provide support to their local products. Similarly, I think in Odisha also, we can bring about departments, and all the secretaries would be very happy to look forward to work with CSIR, ICAR, such scientific organizations to take forward these ventures. That's my suggestion, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for nice suggestion. Lekin, you know that I partially ditto the point that investment, jahan chah wahan raah. That's why he told it should be not a sudden big jump. And with your own example that were helping in Pipli, you have shown that how empire can be created with a small. So every place, if will depended on the government funding, what is the difference between China and India business model is? China is a government sponsored, supported manufacturing, but India grows with people. It's a people will, and we have to learn from movie also. 3 Idiots. पहले एक बिजनेस होता है 10 रुपया से 10,000 करोड़ तक. We have to become Ambani. We have to become in that thinking that from a small petrol pump. So when will is there, when our MSME, our farmer will wake up, as a scientist we can do, as a CSIR-TDH, whatever initiative we will do, we will help them in marketing. I have told, just you can reflect in our posters, you can see in our student posters. We are also trying to brand in a similar way. We will help people. When I explain this to our Honorable District Magistrate at Navrangpur, immediately in the evening he announced that any tribals who want to open industry, 50% subsidy. Any normal people they want to start, it is 40% subsidy. When will is there are lot of example, Mr. Sir, that yes, some place capital is required. In our own lab, you were leading this lab few years back. We have the facility where they can use it. Let them come forward. CSIR lab have sufficient pilot plant. Where I was belonging, IICT, we have created Kilo Lab. We have a manufacturing facility. If will is there, they will come. If anybody want to a small, suppose Grand Channel, Suklaji was telling, a very big challenge, a small chemicals, 24 chemicals required in mineral beneficiation, agglomeration, flotation, that can be manufactured. For that, don't require a big capital investment. And then he want to enter into a bigger one. That is a way. So let us start the program that what tempo we have kept, that should keep forward. And wherever CSIR should come, you go to Durgapur, lot of facilities there. You go to NML, lot of facilities there. Go to CGCRI, you can make at least for a startup business, all glass you can manufacture in our pilot plant. So pilot plant facility should be accepted, augmented to them, and even government is coming with lot of support. That whenever you are talking about MSME, there are no people to use. I will tell an example of Bihar farmer. He left central government job in the agriculture pharma sector. You can see the YouTube. And today he has got so many awards. Both brothers, father was not agreeing. But today his turnover in his own agriculture farming is 25 crore. So will is there. We have to be interested. जहाँ चाह वहाँ रहा. 3 Idiot के जैसा मूवी देख के इंटरप्रेनर बन जाना है. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. May I now request our beloved director Dr. Ramanuj Narayan to present the mementos as a symbol of our appreciation to all our panelists. Dr. Sujata Chaklanovis, Senior Scientist G and Head CSIR-TDH DSIR. Dr. Bipin Shukla, Scientist F and Member Secretary CSIR-TDH. Professor Manoj Dhar, Director ACSIR. Dr. P.K. Sahu, Principal Director and Head CPET. Dr. P.K. Sahu. Dr. Suman Majumdar from DSIR. Dr. Ranjit Baida. Dr. Ranjit Baidwa, DSIR. Dr. Sachikanta Kaur, Senior Manager, CTTC Bhubaneswar. I now like to request Madam Sujata Chaklanabis to give a token of appreciation to our director, Dr. Ramanuj Narayan, please. From CRTDH side. We also have few representatives from MSMEs who would like to give off stage. Professor Torun Kumar Kundu, IIT Kharagpur. Okay. Dr. Tapan Kumar Raut, Tata Steel. हो गया. Mr. Venugopal Naidu Alu, GM Operations Goa Carbon Limited. हो गया. Okay. Mr. Divishada Garnayak and his team, Archaeological Survey of India, Bhubaneswar Circle. नहीं अभी 1 week only होगा. It is only on stage. Like to request other MSME representatives, please come in front. Like to request other MSME representatives, please come in front. To express our gratitude for the insights we have gained today, we will now have a vote of thanks. I invite Dr. R. Saktivel to deliver the vote of thanks. Short, briefly. Start, yes. Let it be going on.
So, very good afternoon. We are all having the very good message from the Chintan Shivir program. That is, waste is not a waste until we waste it. This is the message goes from Chintan Shivir program and also from the materials theme area. Friends, fragrance comes from flower to make us feel very good. Like that, our chief guest and all our guest of honors, special invitees from industries, MSMEs, and our former mentors and colleagues from CSIR-IMMT have come forward to give very good feelings to us to make this function very grand success. We also thank from CSIR-IMMT for giving valuable time for this function by all the chief guests and guest of honors. And also I thank our director, Professor Ramanuj Narayan, to give valuable support to this program, and he inspected every minutes by minutes of the program, and day and night he inspected what is going on for the 1 week, 1 lab program, and also Chintan Shivir program. I thank also CSIR-IMMT colleagues and students for their active support and participation. Thank you all once again, and by saying the word of Prime Minister, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, Jai Anusan. Thank you all. Now we will, after this program, we will move to, Thank you all once again. Now over to Sumit sir.
National anthem होगा.
Before we proceed with our lunch break,
national anthem होगा अभी.
may I kindly request everyone to rise for our national anthem, please.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Requesting all the invited guests to join us in lunch at the guest house. Students who have registered on spot, please collect your lunch coupon from the registration counter.